Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
News now of fresh problems for the independent inquiry into child abuse. Newsnight has learned that the leaders of one of the main groups representing survivors of alleged abuse, a group who've been designated official participant status by the inquiry, have lost faith in it and will recommend to their members that the group abandon it. We'll be speaking to the group's leader in a moment, but first, Jake Morris is with us now. Jake, just how did this come about?
Emily, it was just over a month ago that we got the unexpected news that Justice Lau Goddard was to quit with immediate effect as chair of this inquiry. She was the third chair that the inquiry had had in fractionally over 2 years since it was set up. In terms of why she quit, well, we got a brief publication of correspondence between her and the new Home Secretary, Amber Rudd. Frankly, it told us very little, and this prompted the then chair of the Home Affairs Select Committee, Keith Vaz, to basically call Justice Goddard and Amber Rudd before him and explain what was going on.
And we got that committee hearing today? We
did get that committee hearing today, albeit minus Keith Vaz for reasons that have been well documented, and also minus Justice Goddard. She chose instead to submit written evidence to the committee, and it was in that evidence that there was something that's causing problems. She complained that she was unable to select her own staff for the inquiry, her own secretariat, and she essentially, in layman's terms, accused the Home Office of fixing the way that staff were selected so that essentially the Secretariat ended up being stuffed full of Home Office civil servants. She said that they were bureaucratic in their approach, but it's not that bureaucratic accusation that's a problem for the survivors. We're about to hear from one of the main survivors groups, a group who represent over 600 children who were in Lambeth's care homes in the latter half of the 20th century, many of whom say they were abused. And the problem here is that it is the Home Office who are one of the institutions who stand accused of failing children in the past. Lambeth is one of 13 strands in this inquiry. It's one of the key ones that's been already started work on. It's one of the ones that will be report back first when this inquiry does finally report. It was raised in the Select Committee today by Chuka Umuna, who's the Labour MP who represents the constituency in Lambeth, this issue of Home Office staff essentially having a big role in the inquiry when the Home Office is one of the institutions who stand accused. Amber Rudd said that Justice Goddard was actually mistaken and that she had been free to pick her own staff.
So why does this matter then? Well,
there's an argument to be made that it doesn't matter, that if survivors groups want to lose faith, however big they are, and don't want to be part of the inquiry, then that's their business and the inquiry carries on. But the reality is that, first of all, they may well have very important information to impart, and secondly, that it's important for the inquiry to be seen to be credible, to have the support, to have the belief of those who were abused. And it's also worth saying that this is an inquiry that is now under flak from all sides. You've got many who are saying that its scope is just far too big and it should be scaled back. That's something that Amber Rudd, interestingly, today said she did not think should happen. And so you've got that criticism, and you've also got, as we're about to hear, the survivors.
Jake, thanks very much. Well, Raymond Stevenson, representative of the Shirley Oaks survivors group, is here with us. What is your sense? What are your concerns tonight, Raymond?
We had concerns 6 months ago when we met with the inquiry team, and our first question I asked was how many people worked for the Home Office. We always knew during our investigations they were implicated in what took place at Shirley Oaks, or the failure to intervene. So to read the document today from Justice Goddard and to read her reasons for being concerned, matching the reasons we expressed a while ago, is very concerning for us.
Do you really not believe that Home Office staff members today, all these years later, can't be impartial on something like this?
We're not going to take that risk. Some of our members have been through investigations before which had Home Office members and staff were part of it. So we've been through that. So this is about the third investigation Lambeth has been through. So what we wanted from this was it to be truly independent. We were sold a theory that it would be truly independent. If Justice Goddard is concerned about it, we are definitely concerned. Also, there's another issue. The new chair has spent 30 years in the social service department. That would have been another condition for us because we are accusing the social services of also being part. So there's been a sea change in 2 weeks, change of head, change, and you've got Justice Goddard highlighting the concerns we expressed.
What will you recommend to your members then?
We have to recommend at this moment in time that we pull out. We've given the inquiry an opportunity to meet us. We contacted them 2 weeks ago and expressed these concerns, and we're still waiting for a meeting. But I don't know how they're going to jump through the hurdles of having 2 people who we think are compromised. The Home Office is definitely compromised if they're as involved as it seems they are now.
But if you pull out and other groups follow you, this could be the beginning of the end of the whole thing.
Look, for the Shirley Oaks survivors in Lambeth, we are lucky. We set out to investigate this ourselves. We're going to be producing our own report. The first 100 pages will be presented next week. It's a damning indictment of what took place in Lambeth, and also it's a micro of the macro of what took place around the country. So we're confident in our report, and what we wanted to do by joining the Goddard inquiry was share our report with them to help them. If they're not able to receive it in an independent way, we're definitely going to publish it ourselves.
Raymond Stevenson, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Thanks for coming in.
I've been getting away with it all my